In this presentation, you will observe more than 10 centuries of past events, every crowning ceremony, every act of treason, and every conflict that built a country. We are detailing every individual ruler of England and Great Britain, starting from the initial true sovereign of England through to Charles III. By utilizing advanced digital tools, we will demonstrate what each medieval sovereign might have actually looked like, bringing visages forgotten by time back to existence using all the evidence available today. We begin with King Athelstan, the initial leader to merge all the various Anglo-Saxon realms into a unified England in 927 AD. From territory seizures and crusades to internal wars and uprisings, this is the total narrative of the throne. King Athelstan. Athelstan was the initial true sovereign of all England. In 937, he triumphed at the Battle of Brunanburh, among the most violent conflicts ever occurring on British ground, defeating a combined force of Scots, Celts, Danes, and Norsemen. This achievement merged the distinct Anglo-Saxon realms into a single England for the initial time. King Edmund. The half-brother of Athelstan, Edmund, took the throne at merely 18 and successfully reaffirmed Anglo-Saxon authority over the north of England. His tenure concluded in a tragedy when he was fatally stabbed by a thief during a banquet in Pucklechurch. He was merely 25 years old. King Edred. The brother of Edmund, Edred, followed him and drove out Eric Bloodaxe, the final Scandinavian ruler of York, in 954. A very pious individual, he battled a chronic stomach condition and passed away in his early 30s, single and lacking a successor. King Edwig. The eldest son of Edmund, Edwig then assumed the crown. His crowning was notoriously put on hold because Bishop Dunstan had to pull him from his chambers where he was with his lover and her mother. Unimpressed, Edwig banished Dunstan to France. He passed away under strange circumstances at merely 20 years old. King Edgar the Peaceful. The younger brother of Edwig, Edgar, titled the Peaceful, followed him, and his era witnessed no Norse incursions, a unique span of harmony and growth. He modernized England's money, creating a fresh, unified minting system, and divided the land into the counties, or shires, we still utilize today. Despite standing only about 5 feet tall, he directed a massive fleet of nearly 4,000 vessels. Edward the Martyr. The firstborn son of Edgar, Edward became sovereign at just 13 years old. He protected the clergy against aristocrats raiding houses of worship, making him dangerous rivals. After just 3 years, the 16-year-old was stabbed in the back while consuming wine on a horse at Corfe Castle, reportedly on the command of his stepmother. He became the first officially recognized saint of England in 1001. Ethelred the Unready. The half-brother of Edward, Ethelred, sovereign at only 10 years old, receiving the label unready, which translates to poorly counseled. He is noted for his failing management of Norse threats, specifically commanding the St. Brice's Day massacre in 1002, where Danish inhabitants throughout England were slaughtered. This infuriated Sweyn Forkbeard, the King of Denmark, who raided England in retaliation. In 1013, Sweyn was named King of England on Christmas, and Ethelred escaped to Normandy. However, Sweyn passed away merely 5 weeks later in early 1014, permitting Ethelred to return from his flight. Despite reclaiming his crown, he spent his final years in perpetual combat with Sweyn's son, Canute, never fully regaining command of his realm. King Edmund Ironside. The son of Ethelred, Edmund, earned his Ironside title for his bravery in resisting Canute's raid. Following his father's passing, a struggle for authority broke out, with London selecting Edmund and the Assembly selecting Canute. Beaten at the Battle of Assendon, Edmund was compelled to split England, retaining only Wessex. The agreement stipulated that whichever leader died first would forfeit everything. Edmund passed away just months later, likely killed, having ruled for less than a year. Canute the Great. Canute assumed the crown after Edmund's passing, presiding over a massive North Sea empire, including England, Denmark, and Norway. He became notably well-liked by dismissing most of his warriors and marrying Emma of Normandy, the widow of Ethelred. He is famous for ordering the ocean tide not to advance. However, this was a performance intended to demonstrate to his fawning advisors that even sovereigns have no authority over the natural world, only the Almighty. His era provided nearly 2 decades of harmony and wealth. King Harold Harefoot. The unrecognized son of Canute, Harold grabbed the throne while his half-brother Harthacnut, the legal successor, was busy protecting Denmark. Labeled Harefoot for his agility and hunting talent, Harold passed away in 1040, merely weeks before Harthacnut's intended raid. In retaliation, Harthacnut had the body of Harold exhumed from Westminster Abbey, decapitated, and tossed into the River Thames. King Harthacnut. The legal son of Canute, Harthacnut finally took England after the passing of Harold Harefoot. He was the final Danish monarch to preside over England and proved to be highly disliked. He increased levies so aggressively during a bad harvest that when the residents of Worcester killed 2 collectors, he commanded their town be incinerated. In 1042, during a marriage banquet, Harthacnut collapsed while making a toast and died at just 24. King Edward the Confessor. The half-brother of Harthacnut, Edward, brought back Saxon authority after 26 years of Danish rule, having spent 28 years in flight in Normandy. His primary contribution is Westminster Abbey, constructed in the Norman style, the first of its kind in England. He was the sole English monarch to be sainted by the Pope, becoming a saint in 1161. Edward died without children, sparking the crisis of succession that led to the Norman invasion. King Harold II. The brother-in-law of Edward the Confessor, Harold, possessed no royal lineage, but was picked as king by the Assembly. His rule lasted only 9 months and faced 2 primary raids. First, he led his warriors 185 miles from London to Yorkshire in merely 4 days to beat the Norse king Harald Hardrada at Stamford Bridge. Only 3 days later, William of Normandy arrived in the south. Harold forced his tired warriors back down and was slain at the Battle of Hastings in 1066, finishing Saxon England for good. King William the Conqueror. After beating Harold at Hastings, William became the initial Norman monarch, known as William the Bastard because of his birth status. He altered England by swapping the Saxon nobility with Normans, starting the feudal structure and erecting hundreds of fortresses. In 1086, he ordered the Doomsday. Enjoying this? Drop a like and comment Part 2 so I know you want the next video on England and the British monarchs. Appreciate the support.